Hey guys, we're back here on Call of the Wild, but today we're not going to be talking about the Hunter Call of the Wild. Today we're going to be talking about Call of the Wild, the Angler. This is a brand new game that EW has just announced that will be coming to PC later this year, and it will come to console not too long afterwards. That is what we're being told. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you all of the information that EW shared with us this morning on their Angler live stream, and I will share with you the highlights from that stream this morning. So this is going to be an open world game. We are going to have one map to start with. It's going to be called Golden Ridge Reserve. It's going to be 64 square kilometers in North America. We know that you're going to be able to play this game in single player or multiplayer with up to 12 players in multiplayer, and it is going to be cross-platform. So players on Xbox, when it does come to console, or PlayStation, will be able to play with players on PC. So that is very exciting. So they haven't shared with us how many species will be in the game. They said they are going to share that with us in the coming few months, and we can expect to see this game later this year, so it will come out in 2022 for PC. They said that it is going to be a live service game, so they do plan to support it for years to come, so we can expect to see new content and new DLCs come to the Angler regularly, just like in the Hunter Call of the Wild. And basically, they want to hear from the community about what you would like to see in this brand new game. So definitely, if there is something you would like to see in this game, you need to let EW know. And if you do enjoy today's video, guys, hit that like button. Let's continue.
If we were ever to develop a fishing game, we'd probably make a standalone game, because it's not as simple as putting fish in a lake in Leighton Lakes, for instance.
So I have had some viewers express to me their disappointment that they would like to have fishing in Call of the Wild and not as a separate game, but TK is explaining here how it isn't as simple as just dropping fish in the water, and it had to be a separate game. Guys, let me know in the comments how excited you are for Call of the Wild the Angler and what species you are hoping to see in the game. And in Steam it reads, the world of Call of the Wild the Angler is filled with spectacular fishing spots and breathtaking environments which can be explored on foot, by off-road vehicle, or boat across a vast network of waterways. Traverse the living, breathing world at your own pace and discover winding rivers, majestic alpine peaks, turquoise-colored springs, epic hiking trails, and hidden ponds. Journey past charming outposts and soaring lookout towers as you head out for a relaxing night of fishing on the lake, or beat the sunrise for a shot at hooking that one elusive catch. And they did mention that this is going to be an absolutely stunning game. Expect it to be even more beautiful than Call of the Wild, because it is a brand new game, and Call of the Wild is absolutely stunning. So we are in for a real treat here. And here are some absolutely stunning images that you will see on Steam from inside the game.
And don't forget, you can of course wishlist the game right now on Steam and Epic.
What mechanics will be included in the game, Rushy? So like, what can people expect on launch?
Yeah, so we're going to have two distinct fishing techniques available to use in the open world from day one. So we'll have both bait fishing with floats and then bait spin casting for freshwater angling. So you'll have plenty of options available to you.
How many fish species are there going to be on at launch?
Talk about all the different fish species that we're going to have in the game just yet, but I'm happy to share that you'll be able to catch a variety of trophy fish like largemouth bass and the mountain whitefish.
So Rushy, the game designer, explains that what is going to set the Angler apart from other fishing games is that it's going to be an open world fishing game where you can transverse on foot or by boat, or use an off-road vehicle to drive around, so it's really easy to get around and find that perfect fishing spot. It's going to be absolutely beautiful. The sheer beauty of nature and the visual splendor is going to set it apart from other games, and there are going to be a lot of fishing species that will also make the game stand out from other games. The fish species will have their own treats, behaviors, sizes, and weights, so it is going to be a very immersive and engaging fishing experience.
Finally, my favorite element is the freedom. It truly is up to you how you want to approach this game, with either the gear you use or where you go to find the best fishing spots in the open world.
People think Call of the Wild is pretty. This is a much newer game, so you guys are going to love it. It's fantastic. What is some of the challenges that you've faced here with the Angler?
I think one of the first things that was challenging was making sure that the fishing mechanics felt authentic, trying to make them feel tactile and engaging, so that the rod play feels good when you're interacting with the fish, because we really want to make sure it's a fun and ultimately a believable experience as well. And to do that, we had to do so much research. We were talking to fishing experts and getting what practical hands-on time we could do during a worldwide pandemic. Because, you know, fishing, as I'm sure everyone on the stream knows, is that it's a very in-depth and often complex pastime. So many intricacies and details, which we've really tried to capture. And then, of course, we wanted to replicate that fish behavior, and that's been a tough challenge. You know, trying to make sure that each one feels unique as you battle them. And then probably the biggest task was actually working out how to populate a massive open world with fish. You know, we had to create an entirely new fish ecosystem, you know, essentially that would then spawn the fish appropriately relative to depth, temperature, altitude and more, to create that living, breathing ecosystem.
So Call of the Wild the Angler will be using the Apex open world engine, so you will immediately notice improvements to the open fidelity, so it is going to be an absolutely visually stunning game.
What sort of ethics, do we have any ethics in the Angler? Like, can you explain to people what they can expect in terms of that?
We need to be one with nature in many ways. So we have to share the passion for the outdoors, and we have to act responsibly and sustainably, whether that's in-game or even when we're doing our research. So, the Angler itself, that operates a catch and release policy. So the fish, even though they're digital, they'll still always return safely to the water. We've even got the Warden of Golden Ridge Reserve, who will impart many words of wisdom about nature and conservation. And if you choose to do so, you can even help the Warden manage invasive plant species inside the world as well.
And I understand in the Angler, there will be points of interest that you can discover and missions you can complete, which will please a lot of people who love doing missions in the Hunter Call of the Wild.
Real life fishing brands, I should say, are there going to be any in the game on launch?
So at launch, we'll have a good selection of fictional brands created for rods, reels, apparel, vehicles and more. However, we are very keen to investigate the possibility of adding real-world brands to the game in the long term. So what I'd like to know is, from the community, what brands do you want to see first? Let us know.
So if there are real-world brands you would like to see in the Angler, definitely let EW know, and they will possibly implement it into the game at a future date.
We're going to have a range of missions and challenges. We'll have Sophia, who's a Golden Ridge Reserve shopkeeper.
So here is a really good question. Will there be trophy systems in the Angler like in Call of the Wild?
We've got a ranking system for our fish, absolutely. So the top tier of which is diamond ranked fish.
So there you have it, guys. We will be able to fish for diamond fish. Holy, I'm very excited about that.
They're going to be the rarest in the reserve and often the hardest to catch. You're going to really need to scour the reserve to find where they spawn and have the right gear to catch them, and then fight hard to land the catch. So best of luck trying to get them.
So it sounds like diamonds will be very challenging. And Rushy also explains that there will be a unique system which controls all the spawning behaviors of the fish, a really good range of environments within the open world, such as water temperature, time of day, altitude, and more to determine where and when the fish will be active. So we, the players, will need to factor that in as we are looking for the best fishing spots. They also told us that it is going to be a fully customizable game. You will be able to select your own boots, wellies, sunglasses, shorts, t-shirts, jackets, and hats. So we're gonna have full customization in the game, and that is very exciting. It was also explained that Call of the Wild the Angler does have its own team. It is not going to be drawing resources from the Hunter Call of the Wild, so that is very good news. So that sounds amazing. We're gonna be able to tailor our tackle. It sounds like a very customizable game. Now, the other thing they mentioned is at the beginning, when the game comes out, there will not be a trophy lodge, but if that is something you would like to see in the game, definitely speak up and let EW know, and it is something that could come along down the road. When the Hunter Call of the Wild first came out, there were no trophy lodges. I played for a long time with no lodges, and then they were added as a DLC. But what there will be are reward poses. You can take snapshots of every fish, and every fish you catch will be recorded in your journal. It was also mentioned that 4 players can fit in one boat, so that is awesome. And that basically sums up everything that we have learned about Call of the Wild the Angler. Definitely let me know in the comments how excited you are for this game, and that's gonna wrap it up for this one. We will definitely see you guys in the next one. Take care, guys. If you guys would like to learn amazing hotspots for every single species in Call of the Wild, definitely click on these Where and When super guides.